You got people in their feelings. People are mad at you. People are upset. They're just in their feelings because they wanted you to be mental and toxic like them. But you broke that curse. These could be people in your hometown. These could be family members. These people were toxic and mental. They had mental issues. Mental issues due to toxicity. They thrived and fed off of toxic energy, low vibrational energy. And because you broke that curse, you were labeled an outcast from people in your hometown. Because you want to grow past that foolishness of ignorance, you got labeled to be the nobody one, the one that was shunned by everybody. And because you were shunned by everybody, God used that for your elevation. You should be clapping and rejoicing that you did not fit in with these type of mentality people. They certain mentality was always going to be like that. They thrived off of toxicity because that's all they knew. They only know to be negative and toxic. They don't know being positive enough light and filled with the Holy Spirit like you, and know how to do righteous and not do wrong by people. They only know doing ignorance, and then they laugh at others' downfall, make fun of others that's different from the bunch. You should have been different from these people. You should not have been like these people in the way they thought. This is why you did not fit in with people in your hometown. This is why you didn't fit in with your own family. For some of you, your family was different from you. You was different from them. We can't pick the family we born into. We can't pick that, unfortunately, just like we can't pick our names. But God said he saw something different in you. God saw potential in you to break that curse of people in that mentality. Now, this is why you can't stand being around nobody toxic. Anytime you see bad vibes and deal with bad energy people, you go the opposite direction, as you should, because you don't want that energy affecting you. Energy could be contagious. Low vibrational, demonic, toxic energy, that can be contagious. And you didn't want these people getting in your spirit with the level of wickedness they was into. Oh yeah, you battle witches, warlocks from your hometown. And if they're not in your hometown, just people on the job, your co-workers, people that live in your neighborhood could be witches and warlocks, and they thrive off toxicity. This is why you stay to yourself. This is why you don't get involved with a lot of people. You feel people by their energy. And if their energy is off, you don't ignore that. God gave you that spiritual discernment for a reason, not to deal with people in this type of energy. Because once they take you there, they take you there. Now you might be talking to a handsome devil. You might be talking to a beautiful devil. Or beautiful on their outside, but their inside, it might be a spirit. A spirit that you can't even think of how it look, how it fathoms, because they're that low vibrational. You might be talking to the devil himself, dealing with these toxic people. Because for some reason, why are they still in that toxic frame of mind? 10, 20, 30 years go by and they still with that same mentality. Because they're operating by their flesh. They're not operating by the Holy Spirit because they don't know the Holy Spirit. They don't know how to live righteous. They only know ratchet foolishness. And you're not there anymore mentally. You never was there. This is why you didn't fit in. But they wanted to make you like them. They try to mold you and shape your mind into being like them. They thought they were better than you. Yeah, I'm laughing about that. These people really thought they was better than you. I mean, people you grew up around that was in that type of mentality, certain family members, certain peers at school you grew up with, they really thought they was better than you because they were like that. They were popular and stupid. Yeah, popular and stupid. And then you look down the line, you look back over your life, 10 years, look at where these people at. Look back and see where they at. In the same place you left them, doing the same foolishness, ripping and running streets, fighting, being wild, gang banging, acting silly, drugs, alcohol, you name it. This is the stuff these people do. That's all they know. And they think that's cute still to this day. You like, oh, I thought they got done with that back in, 16, 17, 18, that type of mentality. No, they're still like that. And they're 35, 40, 50. Some people are like that into their 60s. Depends on the people. Everybody don't get wisdom. Everybody don't want wisdom. Some people really do just thrive off ignorance. And they don't know how to get out their mentality. But yet they thought they were better than you. Now they're watching you, hating on you, and wondering why God is blessing your life. He's blessing you because you're on the path of righteousness. You're doing right in his sight. You're not doing foolish things like they do. You refuse to go down that path like them because you ain't trying to become a mental case like them either. The lifestyle they was living, the baby mama, baby daddy drama they had going on, now they're mental cases. Now they complaining about child support payments. Some of these people, these mental people, wonder why they got all these baby mamas. And then some of these women wonder why they got all these baby daddies. And wonder why, okay, how come the daddy's not seeing their baby type of mental illness? Because they feed off that toxicity. Well, when did God tell them that that type of lifestyle was going to be righteous for their children, their babies, being caught up in baby mama, baby daddy culture? When did God tell them that was going to be righteous? Didn't he say be married and be fruitful and multiply? That's what God said. He didn't say have 4 or 5, 6 different baby mamas. He said be married to that one spouse, be fruitful and multiply. But these people can't even do that. That relationship didn't work out, then they get in another relationship. Then that relationship didn't work out, then they get into another relationship. But they haven't fixed what was really going on, the root problem, which is fixing their self internally before they got involved in another relationship and created babies into the earth. This is the type of people you grew up around. They bring babies in their foolishness and their mess. Ain't even healed from what they got going on. Not healed from their trauma. Not healed from their generational curses. But they bringing babies in the earth. And then they wonder why they going through these repetitive cycles. And why they children going through these repetitive cycles. Because these people just don't learn. But they learning from you. Ain't God good? Won't God turn it around? They learning from you. You were always the standard, the blueprint, the example of righteousness in your hometown amongst people that you grew up with. You was always the standard of righteousness around your family. Even though they never gave you the credit for it. They never supported you in your endeavors. Because they always looked at you like you was just nobody. Your own family. Now they gossip about you, but now their mouths are shut down because God is shutting their mouths about you. Because they didn't think you was going to be where you are today. They thought you was going to be toxic and mental like them. No, God had bigger plans for you. All praises. God had bigger plans for your life. And they couldn't stop that. They couldn't stop your destiny, your future. The people that you work with at a point in time, they thought that you were just going to always be in that Kroger's uniform forever. You always going to be in that restaurant uniform forever. You know, flipping burgers and putting fries up in oil or flipping pizza, making pizza and throwing it in the oven. They thought you was going to be in that position forever. Any of y'all that used to work at Pizza Hut, that was my first job. I had the little pizza, thing going with the hat. And I'm sure I had coworkers there that thought I was going to be there forever. She just a little Pizza Hut worker. I was about 17 years old when I had that job. She's just going to be a little Pizza Hut worker the rest of her days. Now, God had bigger plans for me. Just like God had bigger plans for you. And these same people that saw you in that uniform, they like, wow, no. We didn't know that this person was like this. We didn't know that they weren't mental. We didn't know they were going to be that successful. Oh, you got people shocked. You don't think you got people shocked where God got you right now? You got people questioning their own life. You got people questioning their own ability on why they're not where you are. You got them really thinking about where they went wrong at in life because they thought you was the nobody for a long time. They shunned you. They made fun of you. People that you grew up with thought you was just the lame. You was the lamest one in the city. You was going to be the one that was going to be the laughing stock the rest of your days. Nah, God made you the laughing stock so people wouldn't get too comfortable with you because God didn't want you there long. He didn't want you in a mental frame of mind like them people. He wanted you to rise above that circumstance. He wants you to rise above the mentality, the common mentality up in your hometown or amongst your family and your peers growing up. He wanted you to grow past that, and you did. Now people are questioning their life because you was least expected to be the person that God used in your hometown, in your family bloodline, in your generation. This is why it was pertinent for you to break that curse of toxicity, of negative thinking, of a poverty mindset, a crabs in a barrel mindset. It was necessary. It was pertinent for you to break that. And you broke it. You broke that curse. Let them be mad. Let your mama be mad at you the rest of her days if that's what she want to do. Let her talk about you negative to other family members if that's what she want to do. Or your dad, or your uncle, or your aunt, or your sister, or your brother, whoever it relates to, or these people that you grew up around that thought they knew you but really didn't know you because they thought you was anybody. Let these people think and say what they want about you because their words don't mean nothing. If God is for you, who can be against you? God said he was for you. God said he using you to get people to think a certain way. He's using you as the blueprint. He's using you as an example on how you should be. When you grow, you might have started off the same like these people. You might have been toxic, but you changed. You changed for the better. And you said, no, this is not me. I'm going to grow into my purpose and righteousness. And you did. God is proud of you. You're not the same no more. You grew up. Now you're more at peace now. You got a peaceful life. You pray every day. You fill with the Holy Spirit. You don't deal with nothing that's going to disturb your peace. And that's a sign that you're growing because you're not dealing with them type of mentalities and people no more. Them toxic, drama-filled people. You're not dealing with that. You passed that. You grew past that childish mentality. That negative, bad energy that they want to send your direction. And then got the nerve to want to send word curses your way like you the nobody one. You said block, block, delete. That's the energy you in right now. Block, block, delete. You not trying to hear it. You ain't trying to hear it. You ain't trying to hear that no more. Because you're in a different place. God has shifted to your mentality. You grew up. If people can't see that you grew up, then maybe it's something wrong with them. But you grew up, whoever you are. You grew up. And they wasn't expecting your growth. No, they wasn't expecting your growth. That's why it's shocking them. It's shocking them that you grew into this lovely person that you are today. And that you don't want to deal with them no more. That you ain't coming back entertaining people in your hometown no more. That you ain't entertaining your toxic blood relative that all they do is gossip about you to other family members no more. You ain't entertaining that ex-lover no more that's still in that toxic negative mentality and couldn't put a ring on your finger no more. You're not entertaining that no more. You only want what's the best for you. You want what's best. And people mad at you because you'll be surprised at how many people are mad at you because you want better. They call you bougie. Oh, you best believe I heard that. Oh, you're bougie because you think you're better than us because you moved out the hometown and you doing this, and that. But they still doing the same stuff they've been doing since high school. But they call you bougie. Yeah, I had that happen to me. So I'm sure you had that happen to you for somebody that grew up with you in your hometown. Now you too good for folks because you're not toxic and low vibrational and drug addicts and mental like them. Now you're bougie. Well, you continue on being bougie, whoever you are. You want what's best out of life. Ain't nothing wrong with that. God want what's best for you. So why shouldn't you? Why do people think you got to be low vibrational, toxic, mental, and down and have a impoverished mindset like them when you supposed to be growing past that? What's wrong with these people? But that's how these people think. Not everybody, but you'll be surprised. This is why you got to try the Spirit by the Holy Spirit. Try these spirits up out here. Read the room. See where you fit at and where you don't fit at. You just didn't fit in. And that's a blessing in disguise. You don't fit in with that. You got better things to do for the kingdom of heaven. Leading more souls to righteousness. Bringing more light out of people because you're full of light and love by the Holy Spirit. That's what you're full of, light and love. Not toxic, negative, low vibrational, mental energy. And then you mad in a repetitive cycle. That person go punch somebody in the face because they mad at this person, then they jump in this person. And the toxic hood mentality people be on. And gossiping and always full of drama and arguing and just causing confusion. You passed that. You grew past that. And yeah, you got people questioning themselves. Oh, they question. You got your own blood relatives questioning who you really are. Because they thinking, who you think you are? You was always somebody. They were just always downplaying your gifts and who you were as a person. Because they thought you was just their niece, their daughter, their son, their nephew, their cousin, whatever position you is in your family bloodline. They thought you was going to just be that. Like you ain't have no gifts that God wanted to show forth to the world. Like you ain't have no talent, or you just a gift, a blessing in disguise, basically. They thought you didn't have that ability. Well, you did. You had that ability. And they missed out. You broke that curse. You broke that curse, whoever you are. You didn't need to be toxic like them. You didn't need to be mental like them. You needed to keep growing and evolving. That's what you needed. If you reached the end of this prophetic message, it was meant for you to hear that. Let them continue on a mental journey, and you keep on growing and glowing. And until next time, bye-bye.